Hello friends, welcome back to another session with me, Sanyukta Saxena, certified Zentangle teacher. And today's session I have come up with another new Zentangle original pattern that we are going to learn. The pattern is called Cubog. I have already posted a teaser on my Facebook page. So today let us learn how to draw this pattern Cubog, and we shall also draw a tile together using this pattern and a few more other tangles to go along. Just in case you have still not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel and do follow my Facebook page Sanyukta Zentangle. I'm also there on Instagram by the handle sanyukta.saxena. And in case you're following my videos very religiously, then you can post your work on my Facebook group, that is Creative Zen Work at Sanyukta Zentangle. Creative Zen Work at Sanyukta Zentangle. So I would love to see the work, your tile created after following my video or using my video as an inspiration, right? So let us get started. So the Tangle Quabog looks something like young mushrooms, yeah, like very small tiny mushrooms, and you can call it an organic looking pattern. So it is very easy to draw. It looks like this. This is the basic shape of the pattern. So I'm going to draw these shapes in a zigzag manner, not exactly straight lines, but more or less straight, crossing each other, at times bending, right? So you can draw it in a circle, whichever way you wish to place it, you can place it. So this is the basic shape, like a mushroom head, and you can go on and on. They are basically connected with each other. They can cross each other. They can be straight, they can be slanting, any ways you want them to be. But this is the basic shape, right? So you can see here the lines are not very straight. You need not trouble yourself much with straight lines here, just that you stick to the shape. It's like a mushroom head on the top. So you can draw it any which ways. You can give them a bend, you can draw them straight, you can make them cross each other, right? So this is the basic of the pattern Cubog. It's that simple. Many people draw it in a very, you can draw big ones also in a very, not exactly giving any particular shape, just drawing big ones like this. You can draw them like this also. But the basic shape is inspired by those tiny mushrooms, right? So this is also Cubog. It's that simple to draw. You generally, there is a technique wherein you press hard on the stem and then go lighter, and then again press hard on the stem, then go lighter, like this. So it automatically gives that character to your Cubog, right? So putting a little pen pressure on the stem, right? Or if you can't do that, then add a little weight on one side, like this, and it gets its character, right? So let me show you a few tiles wherein I use the pattern Cubog. So this is Cubog in the center. You can see here a slight weight on the top, right? I have not added weight at the sides here, and this is the pattern dream catcher. Again Cubog in the center, a slight weight on one side. So little things that you can do. Generally you shade at the beginning or at the top. Another tile, Monsoons and India tile, again Cubog on 3 sections, right? This is another tile wherein I have used Cubog along with muka and some pepper and ibadans to go along. So that simple a tangle but has a beautiful organic look, can be clubbed with many tangles, right? So let's get started with our tile today. So I'm going to do a little homework here. Prepare the tile before I start drawing. So what I'm going to do is, many of you might not be having a sketch and wash pencil, so I'm just using my gray watercolor pencil here, right? And then I'm going to add some water on it using my brush pen and spread it like this, right? And then I'm going to use this as the base for creating a background on my tile, right? So I'm using a brush pen and I'm going to use it to draw some printums on my tile, right? So just to give the tile a nice background. Right? So again, using the same, generally you do this exercise with your pencil or the pen. I'm using watercolor gray pencil just to create a nice background. I'm using a brush pen. You can also use a brush if you are more comfortable with that, right? So keep wetting this and then just start rotating and draw some printums with your brush pen like this. So don't worry too much about the water spreading, or it's just a background that we are creating. Right? So I'm going to do this exercise, create this printums background throughout. So take your time, go slow. Right? It has a nice light gray tone. So you can see here I have done that exercise, used my gray watercolor pencil and created a background on my tile, right? So I'm now going to start tangling over it, right? So let us get started. So I'm first going to start with the pattern Jetties, right? So we know how to draw this pattern Jetties. A circle, a band in between, an aura added to both sides of the band, and then you can either add orbs or you can fill it in with a sparkle or a highlight, whichever way you wish to, right? So I'm going to add couple of jetties first to start with. So I'm adding these orbs in the band. You can also ink it completely or leave a highlight. I'm using my pen here. You can also choose to use your O1. So make sure your tile has dried up after using those watercolor. Right, drawing behind. Again one here. So you can comfortably fill in the small little spaces if left in between. They look good. Right, right. So just a few more. Probably one here. Yeah. Right. So continuing to draw my jetties here. And the last one. And it's, as I told you, it's a good idea to fill in the small little spaces left in between. Right. So we can now move on to our next angle, that is Quabog. So I'm going to draw behind. So the stems, I'm not going to link the Quabogs together. So I'm just going to assume that they are joined together at the back and just draw these shapes coming from the back of my jetties. Right, so you can see here I'm going random, not thinking much about where, how, just go with the flow. They can just move about in any direction. Just maintain the shape. That's the basic shape of the pattern Cubog. Right. So drawing behind here, lot of drawing behind involved, crisscross, bouncing on each other. right? So I think by now you got the hang of how the pattern looks like. Right? So from Cubog, I'm going to transit into another tangle and use Cubog as the base for my settling.